Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. 10th-ranked Huskers Wrestling hosts number 15 North Carolina tonight at the Devaney. Head coach Mark Manning met with the media earlier this week to discuss the importance of the early season test.
It's important. We need to be tested. I think it just shows the culture of your team, shows what you need to work on, and it's early. Our season's long, like basketball, goes all the way to March, so you're never a finished product. You got to have your A game each time, even though you're going to get better as the year goes on as a competitor. But as a wrestling team, a wrestling program, we want to judge ourselves against really good competition.
Nebraska women's basketball is in action tonight as they host Creighton at PBA at 7 p.m. You can catch the pregame right here on the Huskers Radio Network at 6:45. Nebraska men's basketball announced today that guard Trey McGowens will be out 6 to 8 weeks after sustaining a broken foot against Creighton last night and undergoing surgery this morning. In Big Ten men's basketball tonight, number 20 Maryland hosts George Mason. Michigan State will look to snap the Big Ten out of its funk against Big East teams when they take on the undefeated Butler Bulldogs, and Indiana hosts St. John's. Number 21 Ohio State will get the women's Big Ten slate going as they take on Bowling Green. Number 8 Iowa will square off against the Southern Jaguars. In pro sports tonight, the NFL has a Super Bowl rematch on its hands as Mac Jones and the resurgent Patriots take on the Falcons at 7:20 p.m. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Vermeer in the backfield on second short. Fake the handoff, rolling the pocket, back to throw. Adrian takes a shot downfield, has a man open. It's Vermeer, makes a catch. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska! Huskers burn that Wolverine defense for a second time in the third quarter.
Now Penn State back right. Johnny Parker stuffed. A huge block. Nebraska, big block. Couldn't have been better time. Huskers lead. It's 2019, Sep 2.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to an abbreviated Sports Nightly. Tonight we have more Husker basketball coming your way. At the top of the hour, it'll be the Huskers and Creighton. Night number 2, the women playing tonight over at PBA. Jeff Greesh, Matt Coody getting fired up and ready for that game tonight. Of course, it follows up the men's game, Jessica, last night, which, man, the crowd was good. It was a fun atmosphere in there last night. The big hole that the Big Red dug, they fought back. I think they used a lot of energy to get back into it, and that was what worried me at halftime, is that did they have enough to get over the hump, and they didn't. But there were some things I think you could take away from that game that were improvements.
I got to tell you, my first time, been calling some games, but my first time seeing that place loud and rocking, and I was very, very impressed by that atmosphere. And that's going to help them hopefully win some games down the stretch. I mean, home court advantage is so huge in some of these close games, and the crowd tried everything they could to help them pull it out. But I love the atmosphere. It's super impressive, and I think that will be big for this team moving forward. But, yeah, just a bad start. And, they got off to a bad start against Sam Houston, and this one, the hole was too big to climb out of. And just devastating to lose Trey McGowens. That's a guy that, we've heard Coach Hoiberg talk a lot about embracing your roles, and that's a guy, Trey has really embraced his role as being that defensive guy and being the guy that is the catalyst on the defensive end and, goes and gets the big rebound when you need it. And, he just was kind of the heart and soul. He's a leader and gave his team energy, and that's going to hurt. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to step up and fill that role. But did the coach or so with Matt Abdelmasih the night before, and I know it's hard, but just give this team a little bit of time, be a little bit patient, because as much as they've played basketball and you got some older guys, they've not played together, and we've seen it. That's the thing, is we saw it against Colorado. Colorado's a good team that they played very, very well against. They haven't shot it well, as good as they're going to shoot it. Casey still has not gotten going yet. Bryce kind of, after our 2 big games, didn't play well last night. So I think when they got to just start kind of putting it all together, and it's still early, so no need to panic just yet. Just be a little bit patient with this team. I think they'll get some things figured out.
You mentioned Trey. We did learn he had a surgical procedure earlier today, out probably 6 to 8 weeks. You're talking about more than likely in January before you get him back. And as much as you're going to miss him on the court, I think you're going to miss him in the locker room and on the bench. I think that's where he really provides a lot of leadership for this team. And you hope maybe Kobe can take a little bit of that now that he's back. And, man, was he fantastic in the game last night.
He was so good. Such a huge spark. C.J. Wilcher, was good to see him really shoot the ball well, because that's a guy that can do that. That's not an uncharacteristic performance for C.J. Wilcher. I talked a little bit about it, that he was 0 for 2, I think, or 0 for 3 in the game against Sam Houston, and he came back out and shot on the court after the game was over. So he's a guy that's going to shoot the ball well. I thought it was good to see Lat get going. Lat had some pretty big buckets, and after he missed the opener and then didn't play very well against Sam Houston, I don't think he scored, right? So good to see him kind of knock down some shots as well. So yeah, again, some pieces that have been out and in, and now you kind of hopefully get Kobe back and he's feeling healthy, and Lat's finally getting healthy, and Wilhelm Breidenbach, I think he's been a bright spot as well, and again, not a guy that's going to blow you away with his stats, but I think he's physical and has done some big things on the defensive end that have led to some positive things on the offensive end.
Seatbelts use saves lives and prevents injuries. Nearly 15,000 lives saved per year. Buckle up. This message by the NDOT Highway Safety Office. All right, so the next 4 games, this next stretch, all going to be favored to win. They need to win. They need to build the resume a little bit here, and maybe confidence. I think that may be the biggest thing before they hit a really difficult stretch when they flip the calendar to December.
Yeah, I think they had a lot of pressure, and there was a lot of hype on this team going in. To me, watching the 2 exhibition games and then watching some practices, it seems like they're pressing a little bit, especially out of the gate. And so to have a couple of games that they can get under their belt where, hopefully things go how they, plan for them to, and they shoot the ball well, they get the kind of ball movement going again, not so sticky, and can kind of get some other guys going. And Alonzo Verge and fans were yelling at him and were not happy with him, but he's a guy that they're really excited about, and he's going to, some of those lay-ins, he'll finish. We've seen it. He did it at Arizona State. He's going to finish some of those. Again, just getting a feel for playing that point guard role. So, yeah, I think you get some guys going in some of those roles that we've heard Coach Hoiberg talk about, build some confidence, will be massive for this team moving forward.
All right, tonight, the women will get their crack, and, man, what a start Amy Williams' squad has been. Their 3 wins have been by wide margins.
Yeah, the numbers that they put up, in best in school history, best start in school history. I was talking to you, before we started rolling about, they're some best in the country in some of the offensive statistics and assists and field goal percentage in scoring offense. And the thing about it is that I understand the competition to start off, but that is a team that's also capable of putting up points. I mean, they got a lot of scorers on the floor, so I think you're going to see that team continue to put up big numbers. A big one tonight, though. Yeah,
and Creighton's had their number. Creighton's won the last 5 in this series, so this would be a game that you would certainly want to get in the win column. They're going to hit a tougher stretch of their schedule. They've kind of played some games early to build some confidence. Now it's Creighton. They go to a tournament in San Diego next week where they're going to get pushed a little bit. But the Aussies have been so good. Izzy Bourne has had some big games. Jazz Shelley's been a great addition to this team. And what I like, Jessica, Sam Hybe really hasn't had a big game yet, and she will.
Yeah.
And they're been kind of saving her. She's not had to shoulder much of the load yet.
And I think that speaks volumes about Sam. I think she's okay with that. I think she's okay with kind of, sharing the load, the scoring load. And Jazz Shelley, she's a difference maker. And you want to talk about, again, seeing some tougher competition. Jazz has been there. Jazz has faced and has been through the fire. And so, yeah, I think this team has got some great pieces. I'm excited to see how they build on the start.
Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance and buy online at woodhouse.com. Somebody else that's been there, Jeremiah Searles. He's here now. He's ready to talk some football. We'll do that and have our Big Ten picks of the week.
Of course he's excited about that.
Why? Well, we'll
he
find
finally
out.
Gets a win.
We'll find out how he did. Jeremiah's coming up with us next.
It's football season. Husker Nation and Famous Dave's is here to make your tailgate, house party, or get-together famous. Award-winning and house-smoked St. Louis-style ribs, Texas beef brisket, Georgia chopped pork, and house-made sides like our Wilbur beans, creamy coleslaw, and Dave's cheesy mac and cheese will surely tackle any barbecue craving. Visit famousdaves.com for all your catering and online ordering needs, or come visit us at our locations in Lincoln and Bellevue.
You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. Manzer Equipment in Osmond, Nebraska, your full-time Massey Ferguson dealer, proud supporters of the Huskers and Nebraska farmers since 1975. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
What is highbid.com? It's the online auction site for just about everything under the sun. Art and antiques, cars and coins, office equipment and furniture, toys and tools. You can find it all at highbid.com. Highbid.com gives you access to thousands of auctions across the USA and around the world. Browse the most popular auctions, search for the exact item you want, or just explore the site. Go to highbid.com. That's HIBID.com and find what you're looking for today.
A shield against the elements. Comfort in the midst of chaos. Shelter in the aftermath of destruction. For 75 years, Shelter Insurance has remained true to our promise to be there when you need us most. This is the heartbeat of our company, our why. Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life.
Get the insurance coverage you need at the right price. See Agent Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Lutz is an integrated business solutions firm born and raised in Nebraska with offices in Omaha, Lincoln, Hastings, and Grand Island. Lutz provides expert accounting, consulting, financial, technology, M&A, and talent solutions tailored to you. Lutz embraces your business as their own to discover the right solutions to help you thrive. They mind what matters for businesses or individuals seeking a partner to help energize and heighten financial and organizational success. Visit lutz.us/GBR.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, Millard, and the new flagship Capitol location in downtown Omaha. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
This year, don't just get ready, get holiday ready with Ford. And the best place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Whether you're getting out to the mall or getting off the grid, we've got a Ford SUV that's perfect for you. Or check out America's best-selling trucks, Ford F-Series. Inventory is arriving daily, so get the season started off right and get our best offers during the Get Holiday Ready sales event at your local Ford dealer. Best-selling claim based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Hey, Husker fans, if you're looking for an exciting new career as part of your pandemic recovery, Iowa has over 75,000 job openings in industries such as healthcare, advanced manufacturing, construction, IT, and ag. IowaWorks.gov has more information about job openings, earn while you learn apprenticeships, and exciting training and scholarship opportunities. Find your next great job in Iowa. They've got a solid game plan, a bright future, and want you on their team. www.iowaworks.gov. Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red. Between 6 and 8 million Americans meet the criteria for gambling addiction, and many more are affected by another person's gambling problem. Problem gambling is not a bad habit or a moral weakness. It is a serious disorder. With help, problem gamblers can make decisions to improve their lives. If you or someone you love has a gambling problem, contact Choices Treatment Center in Lincoln. For more information, go to the website choicestreatmentcenter.com or problemgambling.nebraska.gov.
We're back inside of our Acres Equipment Broadcast Center. Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, joined by Jeremiah Searles. Good to see you, sir. How was your last couple of days been?
It's been good. Been hanging out with some family. My great-grandmother, my grandmother on my wife's side is moved into our house for a while for some special care as we get in between facilities. So got her all moved in today, and then I'm headed straight to the deer blind after this. So
What?
not bad.
That is shocking.
Shocking, I know.
Shocking.
I know. I spent 33 hours in a tree last week. I added it up, and my wife has been a saint about it. So shout out, Emma.
And your kids ate deer.
Yeah, oh, they love deer. My son is obsessed with it.
Really?
Like, ever since I brought the deer home, my dad shot one, and he's just like, deer? 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 Yeah, he loves it. I love it. Start him early. Got to start him young.
That's good. Well, what do you think this week's been like for this team, getting adjusted to some different guys in their ears, different coaches telling them different things?
Man, it's tough. There's no doubt about it. It's been really hard, I'm sure, for a lot of these guys. But the nice thing is there's leadership on this team, and especially on the offensive side of the ball, that can really – you have guys that are seniors that could coach this offense because they've been in it so long and they've been part of it, that they're helping. It's coaching by committee in these rooms right now. I mean, no coach or quality assistant or whoever's going to walk in there and try and just big dog everyone for the last 2 weeks, right? That doesn't make sense. It's a collective effort. So I think that they'll be rallied together, but the biggest thing is, how's our will? How's our emotion? Like, we need to make sure we go into this game with full tanks emotionally, because if things don't go right away, you're used to looking to your coach. You're used to looking to your O-line coach or your receivers coach to help kind of gather and rally the troops, right? Those guys aren't there anymore. It's new faces. So we need to make sure emotionally we're going to this game the right way, too.
It's funny you said that about the older guys kind of helping to coach, because I just did a interview with Travis Vokalek, and he said he and Austin Allen have been two of those guys that have been trying to help out wherever they can. And, you know, Travis is a coach's kid, and it was kind of all in, and it has enjoyed that part of it. They've enjoyed kind of being able to help coach this week.
Yeah, I mean, and you talk about those guys, not just the tight end room, two young tackles, right? I mean, talking about, hey, here's how we're going to be doing this. Here's how we do things here. And receiving room, we talk about a guy like Toure, who's only been here for a year, but young room, right? Guys will look to him as leaders. And this is the time when you got to lean on your leaders in a big way, especially Scott Frost.
All right, it's a big challenge for the offense. The numbers for Wisconsin are kind of stupid, and they really are. I mean, they're 1 or 2 in every defensive
Georgia,
category.
Wisconsin. Like, it just goes back and forth.
It's crazy how good they are on that side of the ball.
I mean, it all starts, we've talked about all year, it all starts with those two inside linebackers. I mean, Leo Chanel and Jack Sanborn are two of the most premier linebackers in the entire country. Both guys will be playing on Sundays next year, and you have to find ways to neutralize those guys. But what makes them so good, Greg, is nothing they do you can really pattern. Like, if they see an A-gap, they're just going to shoot it. It might not be a called blitz, but they see, hey, the guard moved from helping with the center to out to the tackle. There's a gap. Boom. He shoots it. Sack. And that's how majority of their sacks have come, as I've watched them. And then they're just super sound in the back end. You don't have any all-stars really back there for their back end, but they're just sound in their technique and sound in their assignments, and they really frustrate guys up front.
You talked about being ready emotionally, and again, talking with players this week, it's 2 trophy games, and that's the thing, you know, it's 2 rivalry games. So, you know, throw the records out the window. These are 2 games that you can absolutely get up for. Oh yeah, I mean, and there's no reason to think that they shouldn't, right? I mean, every big game that Nebraska's been in this year, they've been up for. They've found a way to rally themselves and get up. And going on the road, I remember playing here. It's a hostile place to play. They're not super nice fans, and so it's really easy to feed off that. I mean, it's not going to be Minnesota, 11 a.m., everyone's sitting on your hands. Like, this is going to be a rowdy place to play, and that can really feed energy into the home away team as well.
Yeah. I think, off the bye week, a little bit more refreshed, I expect a pretty good effort. I mean, I think this team has kept that level for all of us to watch as we've made our way through the fall. There hasn't been a week, other than maybe the first half at Minnesota, where it wasn't quite there for them, but I don't anticipate that being an issue.
I don't either. I mean, you got 2 opportunities left, too. I mean, if you look at it from a player's standpoint, you might have only 2 opportunities ever to wear the N on the side of your head again. I mean, there's a lot of seniors on this team. You might have young guys that don't know their future here with everything going on. Might be the last time. I mean, you want to play for the university. You want to play for the team that gave you a chance, and at the end of the day, it's a pride thing. You want to put good tape out for yourself.
I do think it's going to be interesting to see what the Black Shirts look like without JoJo. Not saying that, they're not going to come out and perform at a high level, but he's been so good the last few, and especially in these big-time games, JoJo's really stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, those are big shoes to fill. I mean, you talk about a guy that can do so many things, coming off the edge as a blitzer, covering guys in the pass game. It's going to be a little bit of committee. I'm really excited to see Gifford. I think he's a guy that they want to get in there, but I think we have to tailor our expectations. Like, hey, he's not JoJo.
Right.
Like, he could be very good. He's young, but he's not JoJo. There might be some mistakes made. There might not be the splash plays, but it's good to get him some meaningful reps the next 2 weeks, so hopefully in next year he can start taking those jumps to becoming the player that JoJo was for us.
JoJo's been invited to the Senior Bowl. So has Cam Taylor-Britt, and he has accepted. What do we read into that?
Bye-bye, Cam. I mean, I think the way he's played against David Bell, the way he's played against Olave. I mean, Smith-Ojigba had a bunch of yards, but Cam wasn't really on him. He was on Olave most of the day. He's proven I can play with the elite wide receivers in college. There's really not more growth I can see for him in college. I think he's ready to take the next step, and it's all about getting in the league as early as you can to try and make as much money as you can before you hit 30, because you hit the magic age of 30 in the league and you're a dinosaur. So I really do anticipate him to go to the Senior Bowl, play really well, and probably get drafted.
You got that invite. What does that mean to a player?
I mean, I ended up going to the Shrine Bowl, which is just right below the Senior Bowl, but to get something like that means it's kind of validation. I mean, you go through the whole year and you see how you match up with guys and how it goes, but to get that invite to an all-star game, any all-star game, is like, okay, I have a shot. Like, I have an opportunity to go perform against other guys that are getting a shot, other elite players in the country, and show what I can do. And it's really motivating, and it really makes you want to play well the rest of the year. Like, you really don't want to, hey, I want to earn that Senior Bowl invite, and now that I've got it, I want to show them why I was supposed to get it.
All right, you up for some picks?
Yes.
Yes, he is this week. He is absolutely up this week.
Let's go. We'll see if he's excited or not. Time for our Big Ten game predictions presented by Choices Treatment Center, helping people make positive choices. Let's review first last week's 10-game slate. Michigan at Penn State. This was a heck of a football game. It really was. Jeremiah, you and I and Andrew went with the Wolverines. They pulled one out. I was pretty impressed by their win. They won here and now at Penn State. Those are 2 pretty good road wins for them.
Man, that Michigan State game is going to haunt them. That is really going to haunt them. I mean, you're talking a playoff team if they don't drop that game. I mean, obviously they still have to play Ohio State, but I mean, that game, they're good. They can run the football.
Jessica, I'm sorry, you and Tim went with Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State let me down again.
We all got back on the winning track with Northwestern, Wisconsin. This really wasn't much of a game. The Cats couldn't move it at all against that Badger defense, so yay team, all 5-0 on the Badgers. Indiana, Rutgers. We kind of went split on this one. Tim and I went down. I don't know why. I went down with Indiana. Horribly disappointing year for the Hoosiers. You, Jessica, and Jeremiah and Andrew all took.
Greg, how did you not learn from Jeremiah's mistakes all year?
I thought they had one more go in them, and I didn't like the way how Rutgers got flattened the week before by Wisconsin. I thought they had some give up. But what is going on in Indiana?
I think Tom Allen might have lost that team a little bit, because it wasn't just they got beat. The effort was really poor.
Bad.
I thought it was really poor effort.
They're staring at 2-10.
Yes, they are.
This is a program that began the year ranked in the top 25.
Yes,
crazy.
It is.
And they could be 2-10. All right, we all get back on the winning track. Ohio State hammered Purdue pretty handily in that game, so all 5 of us go with the Buckeyes. We were split in Minnesota, Iowa. The 3 of us took the Hawkeyes. They got beat in a lot of statistical categories, but they win the game. Tim and Andrew took Minnesota.
Is Minnesota the most up and down roller coaster team? I mean, it's like they are just a completely different team every time they step on the
Here's
field.
the thing with Minnesota. If you get them off their game plan, they can't adjust. Like, if you get them off the run the clock down to zeros on the play clock and just be able to run the football and have a little bit of a lead, they don't have a let's spread it out and throw it out. And so that's why when things aren't going well for them, it's real ugly. But when things are on track, they look like one of the better teams in the Big Ten.
Had a chance to win it, just couldn't get it done in the end. So the Hawkeyes hold serve at home. We all 5 took Michigan State. They beat up on Maryland, so 5-0 in that one. Now let's go out of the league. Oklahoma at Baylor. We were split on this one. Jessica, you and I and Tim went down with the Sooners as Baylor gets the win.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma did not look good in that game, and Baylor came out inspired. You know, you'll recall the last time Oklahoma went down there, they came back, largest comeback in school history. I think Baylor was a little bit mad about that. And, you know, say what you will about the field goal, but, you know, if things work out, it's still a game, a lot of football to play. But what if that ends up being a rematch for Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship?
I mean, it might be, but they're out of the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying
thankful.
you're still might be playing for a,
you're still
Big
playing
12
for a
title.
Big 12 title game, absolutely. But I'm just so thankful they're out of the playoff because they didn't deserve it.
No, they didn't. And that's what I've told people. I'm hoping that Cincinnati, but even still, Ohio State jumps Cincinnati. Yeah. I don't know what Cincinnati's route to the playoff is.
The Sooners dropped to 13th in the playoff poll after the loss to the Bears. Ole Miss A&M. This was a really good game. I got a chance to watch a lot of this last Saturday night. Jeremiah, you, me, Andrew, and Tim all went with Ole Miss.
Go Rebels, baby. I ate that popcorn as I watched that game, that's for sure.
I said this the other day on the show about when you pick a team and then you're not even mad that they lose. Like, I'm not even mad that Texas A&M lost. Like, I was not even mad that I took the L.
Spoken like an 8-point lead person. I wasn't even mad I lost that pick.
It's Texas A&M, you know? I'm glad that they lost.
Fair. Talk about a really good game. Wake Forest, North Carolina State was just a back-and-forth battle in the ACC. Wake Forest win. Jessica, Andrew, and Tim all had the Demon Deacons. Their magical season continues. You and I went with NC State. I don't even really feel bad about the pick because it was a heck of a game.
Yeah, I mean, that was a coin flip game. I mean, and especially with the way Wake Forest defense has been playing. I mean, you didn't know, could they stop them? I mean, that's the greatest question ever asked.
They just kept turning the ball back over to each other.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, they did. Notre Dame at Virginia, we all went with the Irish. The Irish up to number 8 in the college football playoff poll.
They're going to find a way in. But, I mean, congratulations. You just earned the job to go get stomped by Georgia. So congrats there. Yay, team.
I don't think they get in. But I like teasing with that. I don't think they get in. So let's look. Jeremiah and Andrew both go 9-1. How about that?
Sharing the win with Andrew.
Yay, team. The other three of us, Jessica, myself, and Tim, go 7-3, so really good weeks all the way around. There's a theory out there, Jeremiah, that the only reason you had a good week was because you didn't have the pressure of Jessica sitting next to you.
I did not say that.
I know you did. It's probably all these people in the chat rooms. It's our chat room friends that are definitely saying that.
All right, let's go to this week's games. Let's start in the Big Ten. Ohio State hosting Michigan State. These are two top 10 teams in the college football playoff poll. I'm going Buckeyes. Any chance that there's an upset in this one?
I don't think so. I think the Buckeyes have figured everything out. They're playing motivated. They have a big playoff spot that they want to get into. I think that they take this one. I think it's close at the beginning, and then they kind of run away with it at the end.
Yep, OHIO for me.
Nobody gives them a shot, huh?
Nope.
It's almost a 3-touchdown spread.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
They will not cover.
I don't think they will either, because I think they'll be able to run the ball some with Walker.
I agree.
And Sparty's defense is pretty good. I think people are giving the Buckeyes a little bit too much respect, although I say that, and they hammered Purdue last week. All right, speaking of Purdue, they're playing in a baseball field this week. Wrigley Field hosting Purdue Northwestern, that goofy setup at Wrigley Field. How about this matchup?
I like the Boilermakers in this matchup. Again, Northwestern's kind of a mess. Boilermakers coming off a bit of an embarrassing loss after a big win. I think that they're going to kind of get back on track because they're bowl eligible, right? I mean, they are. They want to play for a better bowl now as they're moving towards the end of the year.
I'm with you. I got Purdue in this one.
Yeah, all 5 of us go with the Boilermakers, so pretty easy pick on that one. I think they win fairly handily. Rutgers at Penn State, Jessica. You've been on the Nittany Lions bandwagon, but that record kind of slipping away from them. Any trouble here after Rutgers won last week?
Yeah, no, I still think even though, again, they lost, they still played a heck of a football game and looked really good at times. So, and at home, I'm going to go with Penn State.
I'm going to go Rutgers with this one. I'm gonna go for it. I'm going to call the upset here.
Win.
I think road win for those guys. They got a lot of confidence coming off that win last week. I know it wasn't against a powerhouse, but I got to shake things up a little bit. Let's go Rutgers.
That's fine. You can sink in that boat. I'm going Penn State. Well, then so did both producers. So you're the only one bucking the trend on that one. Illinois at Iowa. The Hawkeyes are a 12-point favorite over Illinois. No Brett Bielema. He's got COVID. He will not be on the sidelines for this game. I don't think it really matters. I think that Iowa defense chokes off Illinois. I think the Hawkeyes win. May not cover the 12, but it's never really in doubt.
Yeah, Hawks roll in that one. There's little doubt in my mind as well.
I got Iowa too.
All right. Michigan at Maryland. Trap game maybe for Maryland or for Michigan. They've got Ohio State in a week. They are a 15-point favorite. Any trouble for the Wolverines?
No. Aiden Hutchinson feasts. I mean, their O-line's not very good for Maryland, and that front for Michigan's one of the best in the Big Ten.
All right. Well, nobody want to take a little bite on Maryland.
You want to? Do you want to ride with the Turtles?
I do think the trap game could be a bit of an issue because they are so ready to play the Ohio State next week. But Maryland's, I don't think, good enough to go beat them. All right, this will be an interesting game, I think. Minnesota at Indiana. The Gophers on the road, a 7.5-point favorite. What do you think?
I'm going with Minnesota.
Got to row the boat.
I learned from Jeremiah. I learned from Jeremiah's mistakes. Greg doesn't, but I do.
I think you learned this week.
Yeah,
I think Greg's going to learn this week.
That's it. In Minnesota, all 5 of us go with the Gophers, who are quietly putting together a heck of a year. They're 6-4. This could be their 7th win of the year if they get it done on Saturday. All right, let's jump out of the league. Let's go to the Big 12. Oklahoma, Iowa State. You talk about a really disappointing year, and that would be the Cyclones, who everybody thought, Jessica, this was their year, the best team in school history. They've not lived up to that billing. They have any chance this week in Norman?
Yeah, it's crazy. At the beginning of the year, this was going to be college football playoff implications. But no, I mean, Oklahoma at home, they're very good, coming off a loss historically. They very rarely lose after they, lose back-to-back games. So I think the Sooners bounce back.
Yeah, I probably, if Oklahoma won last week, I probably would have taken Iowa State this week just because I knew they were due for one, but they're not going to drop 2 in a row. There's no way.
Spread's only 3.5.
Iowa State is a team that is not scared of Oklahoma, and they roll in there believing that they can beat them anytime. They've had a lot of success, and actually I think they won the last time they were in Norman. So
what's Caleb Williams' status? How's that hand?
Yeah, I mean, I think Spencer Rattler had the flu too. So, but
I mean, if that hand's not better, I don't know. I'm tempted, but I'm going to go with Oklahoma. So we all 5 go Oklahoma. That's boring, but we all 5 go with Oklahoma. Let's go to the ACC next. This is a pretty cool little matchup. Here's Wake Forest, 9-1, 10th ranked in the country. Clemson has been off the radar for a month and a half now. They're at 7-3 though, and they're favored in this game.
How? Probably because I watched Wake Forest defense.
Yeah.
I think I'll take Clemson. Again, I don't feel comfortable betting on teams that don't have good defenses. I don't anticipate Clemson turning the ball over as much as NC State did, so I'm going to go Clemson.
I'm with you. I got to go Clemson as well. Clemson still has a chance to make the ACC title game, which is crazy too. But, yeah, I mean, Wake Forest, I just don't trust them. They've been in some really close games that they've barely been able to eke out. And I think against a team on the road at Clemson, I think Clemson will take care of business if it comes down to the wire.
God, it was my pick. I thought I would get you guys on. I'm with you. I go Clemson. I think they have the better athletes.
Yes.
I think the better athletes win out at home in this game. It's the 3 of us against the 2 producers. They both go Wake Forest in this matchup, so a little split matter there. Let's come back to the Big 12. Baylor at Kansas State. The Wildcats a 1-point favorite. I like the Cats. I think they're playing some good football right now. I think Baylor's been patting themselves on the back all week long. Still, maybe they're down on the banks of the Brazos, jumping into that little river. I'm going K-State in this game.
I'm with you. I'm going with Wildcats as well. I think that this is one of those games where Baylor got up so high to play Oklahoma and get a chance, and they win it. And Newton's Law, right, what comes up must come down. And it'll be hard. I think Kansas State's probably going to run the football on these guys.
Man, I thought I was going to be the only one picking Kansas State. So it makes me want to take it Baylor. But, man, the last game, home game for Skylar Thompson, I think he's going to ball out. And Baylor has been bad on the road. Their 2 losses both on the road. So I'm going to go with Kansas State as well.
K-State's been playing well. They've won, I think, 4
in a row, yeah.
So they're playing some good football. The 2 producers go Baylor.
All right, there we go.
It's us against them.
I feel better about that.
That's back-to-back games, and it's the 3 of us against those 2 guys. Back there. All right, we'll wrap it up. Big matchup out in the Pac-12. Oregon trying to hang on to that playoff spot at Utah. The Utes are favored in this game. What do you think?
I don't think so. I think Oregon wins this football game.
I'm with you, and they're getting healthy. I think they've got a lot of guys that are going to be back for this one as well. And this could be a preview of the Pac-12 title game. So it could, maybe I'll change my mind the second time around, but I'm going with Oregon this time.
I think they do play twice. Like Utah wins this one, Oregon wins the title game. Utah's favored by 3. Give me the favorite at home, the Utes, and Tim is with me. I'm going to go Tim.
I feel like this is one of those games that Thibodeau just takes over. I mean, their offensive line, they got good interior guys. They struggle on the edge a little bit, but man, that DN for Oregon, Thibodeau is something else.
Very good. You might need a helmet on the sideline.
I might need one.
I might get some stuff thrown at you.
I'm kind of worried about you not getting into some altercations with some of the
I know better. I'll do the old. Do you see the Spencer Brown for the Buffalo where he just puts it like looking over them because they're all so small? Yeah, that's how you'll find me. Be like, I can't hear you up here.
Are you going to jump around?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I bet I might spot you doing that.
You can try.
Can you get some video?
We'll try to get a little video of him. All right, good stuff. We'll have some fun watching how these picks turn out over the week. If you or someone you love has a gambling problem, call Choices Treatment Center at 402-476-2300 or go to the website at choicestreatmentcenter.com. That's it, folks. That wraps up our show tonight. Husker basketball coming up next. The women taking on the Creighton Blue Jays over at PBA. Matt Coatney, Jeff Grishaw fired up and ready. We'll hand it off to them. That's coming up next.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you